So I guess a final parting shot here, because the reason why I was so interested, Mike, in having you on, especially this week, is because so many on the right are banging the drums and hitting the wooden blocks together and saying, wait, no, please investigate Joe Biden's corrupt foreign policy dealings. That's never going to happen because it would expose all this. It would field strip and gut this entire process, because the Bidens were just meat puppets for the blob, right? I mean, the entire Biden family is just a cutout, prostitute, as you note, for this operation, and they're just one small player in order to facilitate this greater grand orchestra of Siege Eurasia. I've learned so much in this interview, but am I getting that right? Like a true investigation, a true special counsel indictment of Joe Biden and his foreign dealings would expose all of this, and they would never let that happen?
Yeah. The story of the Biden family is essentially a story of state secrets. It's the apple from Genesis. You know, it is fruit from the tree of knowledge, and you are cast out of Eden for knowing it. And I mean, that's what this is. And you know, we'll know, by the way, if there is a changeover in the Justice Department, if they allow an attorney general who is not beholden to the blob, if that day ever comes, well, prayers for them if it does. But I don't know that it ever will. We've not had that in our country for over a century. I'm not optimistic on it happening now. If you remember, we had a very aggressive attorney general in the late 1960s run for president and capture the DNC nomination as the attorney general, pledging to clean house at the CIA. And that was JFK. That was Bobby Kennedy. That he was assassinated just days after, I think actually right after he won the nomination for the presidency. So Justice Department is the Strait of Gibraltar on this. Essentially, it's the narrow strait that all of this passes through. That's why the CIA leans on it so hard, because all of the state secrets really flow through that. If you wanted to do an investigation of it, it would pursuing the crimes reveals the secrets. And this is the reason that the CIA, for example, blocked the investigation on national security grounds of the assassination of Haiti's president in Miami here. The CIA leaned on DOJ to not make public and not release certain materials in discovery. If you remember that there were FBI trained and FBI informants and U.S. military trained folks who assassinated Haiti's president, the CIA stepped in and said, Justice Department, don't make these discovery materials public. Don't allow defense counsel to even have access to that. We had Jeffrey Epstein being waved off by the CIA. If you remember, Alex Acosta said the reason that he didn't go after Jeffrey Epstein was because, quote, he belongs to intelligence. We have the CIA leaning on the Justice Department with Hunter Biden, and you better believe that they're going to do that, all that and then some with the Big Mac Daddy, Joe Biden himself.
Yes. So a final shot here. What would Doomsday look like? Let's say Trump wins. The polls show Trump winning, okay? And it seems to me, at the very least, and I'm a glass half full kind of silver linings optimist by nature, it seems like what's been happening is they've been just putting bumper cars on what could potentially be a second Trump term. That many are trying to effectively just kneecap it before it happens. And then there's a protection mechanism there. But all of that aside, Trump wins, an attorney general gets in who's like a Ted Cruz. I know Ted Cruz was a finalist for attorney general in term 1.0, and I think America would have a very different history if he was. Let's say somebody gets in, Ted Cruz, and then there's an appointment of a special counsel to actually properly look into this. What happens next?
Well, it's tough because Ted Cruz. I like Ted
or
Cruz.
Whoever, right? It doesn't matter. Like whoever.
I only mentioned because Ted Cruz is a funny example because he had holds on something like 35 different Biden administration picks in 2021. on everything, like DEI grounds, a bunch of different things. He was holding up appointments from his Senate seat, and he traded it all for a floor vote. All these domestic issues around like domestic culture war, like domestic affairs, he traded all the holds for a floor vote on reinstating sanctions on the Nord Stream pipeline, not even knowing that, you know, the State Department had this plan to blow up the Nord Stream pipeline. So all of the stuff that Ted Cruz was like talking, I just find it funny because Ted Cruz is like an example of someone that you would think would pursue this aggressively, and yet he traded all of our concerns domestically for a failed floor vote just to put sanctions on a gas pipeline 7,000 miles away, 10,000 miles away almost from his, you can't pick a farthest point on the globe from Texas than Germany. But that I think is revealing in that it's really hard to find somebody in a high level of political power in this country who is not beholden in some way to the financial top side of the blob. I mean, Joe Biden himself came to power from BlackRock. He decided to run for president, according to the New York Times, after he got the green light from Larry Fink in a January 2019 BlackRock meeting. His closest advisor is one of the Donilon brothers, the brother of Tom Donilon, who is the head of the investment arm of BlackRock, the guy who actually makes the portfolio decisions for the $10 trillion of their assets under management. Biden's a BlackRock president, and he's BlackRock's battering ram, using the CIA and the Pentagon and the State Department, to cash all that in. And to find somebody in this country who's not beholden to that, you need to find basically someone who's broke. Look with like a Mike Johnson type. But look at Mike Johnson, look how they turned Mike Johnson. So, if you can find a really based cab driver who he's just straight YOLO mode, do what you're going to do. I'm like ride or die, someone like that's basically who you should put in charge of the Justice Department, like the most based Uber driver you've ever seen. That's basically probably the only way we're going to, get out of this.
Okay. You once met a very based Uber driver. There's a video of you with I'm not sure it was an Uber, but it was definitely Logan Paul shouting you out. I think we have that loaded right here. Here we go.
Really great. Yeah.
Video, bro.
Yo.
What's
What's up, man?
Keep making YouTube content, bro. Subscribe to his channel.
Okay, it's just a personal note, but thanks, man. That's Logan Paul.
Benny,
Logan Paul just
The timeline's broken, dude.
would you believe me if I told you that was my first tweet? That's actually the reason I started a Twitter account. Look, you can thank Logan Paul for the reason we're having this conversation.
Okay.
I was like, this is a cool video. I have nowhere to put it. And I'd been thinking about starting a Twitter account when Elon took over. I was like, oh, you know what? It kind of feels like the platform's kind of safe now to create a Twitter account. And I was like, well, maybe this is like a good way to start an account. So I just, Logan Paul, I ran into it, was like, okay, I'm going to upload this and send this to my sister. And now 19 months later, here we are.
Here we are.